Welcome, everybody, to the After Dark Show. I'm Don Rogers. I am super excited to have my guests back tonight. They were on season one, and they are a husband and wife paranormal investigating team. But we're going to get to that in a minute because there is something I wanted to bring up. Being in the podcast community and the truth community, paranormal community, spiritual community, having a toe in all of these, I get a lot of messages and see a lot of people's social media, and there's been an uptick in what we like to refer to as targeting or street theater. I am seeing this almost daily, right? And this isn't me. I'm not going to get into a rant. Like, Kyle and I literally had the same two people slow us down in traffic deliberately 10 miles apart within 15 minutes of one another because she had told me about it. And then I was like, oh, you mean these people? And took a picture, and sure enough, it was them. There is some serious street theater going on right now, people. It's because the system is desperate. Do not buy into this crap. Do not do it. Do not participate. Do not get angry about it. It is all just for their own entertainment and to get you energetically into that frame of mind where they need you. So please don't do it. It is all just a play. It is all just a game. They are just messing with you. I have seen multiple, like I said, social media posts of people seeing the full-born targeting street theater, whatever you want to call it. Don't buy in, please. It's just silly. With that being said, I am going to get to my guests tonight. Like I said, they're a husband and wife paranormal investigative team. They run Vikingcat Paranormal, and they have some absolutely amazing footage on their YouTube channel. And they are also people after mine and Spinge's own heart. She's just right off camera here. And because they are much like us, they are doing the homestead style of life. They are raising the chickens. They are, doing things of self-sustainability, and that's what we find so fascinating and why we wanted to have them back. So, without any further ado, or me tripping over myself again, I want to welcome back Brian and Meredith. Thank you guys for coming back.
It's our pleasure.
Absolutely. And before I get started, I want to say something, because if anybody caught my first interview with Brian and Meredith, Brian is one of two names that I have ever screwed up, and I apologize again. And the only other time I made the mistake of screwing up somebody's name was with Karen Lisa, and that's because she has two first names. So that one never tripped over her name, and I think it was because I had just finished binge watching a bunch of your stuff at the time and was just all over the place and couldn't even get names right. But Jason's already here. Their chicken gets activity. See, you guys already have fans in the audience, and that's what I was getting at, is you guys have this down-home style of life, and you're two of the most upbeat and really pushing the limits of paranormal investigation, because what you and I were just talking about before the show absolutely blew my mind. It was a method I had never heard of, and I do want to get into that. But we actually have something in common, and it's the chickens. Now, you guys got into the chickens about a year ago, I think? Or when did you guys first get into having chickens?
I grew up with them. I grew up having chickens and turkeys, pheasant, quail, rabbits, all kinds of stuff. And then about a year ago, I brought the topic up to him. And we just happened to be in Tractor Supply. I saw these little chicks that were on clearance, and I was like, hey, let's do it.
And so now we have chickens, ducks, geese, rabbits, and whatever's next.
Yeah.
Well, I was researching quail again last night.
Quail, apparently.
Oh, you're going to get quail. That would be...
I don't know. They're really flighty, but...
We actually have them wild here.
Yeah, she just started making her own bread and jarring. We've been growing pumpkins and watermelon and cantaloupe and peppers and tomatoes and cucumbers, and she just made her own pickles out of the cucumbers, and they are amazing. So she's into doing that as well. So it's really coming along.
Well, maybe you and Spinja can swap sourdough recipes because she makes mean sourdough too. So.
Steve, I wanna do
like sourdough crackers.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah. So you guys,
and ginger ale too. We need to talk about ginger ale because it is so you would have no problem with it.
yeah, we make our own ginger ale and bottle it, and there's barely any sugar in it. You do need sugar for the ginger bug itself, and then you just bottle it and let it. You got to burp it a couple of times, and then you put it in the fridge, and it's better than anything you're going to get in a store. It's probiotic, and there's no artificial sweeteners or any of that crap. So, but I actually have some pictures of your chickens because I went on your Facebook. Now, who is this?
That is, oh my gosh, I'm blanking. I don't know how I can blank because that's my favorite girl, and I'm blanking.
Willow.
That's Willow. Yep. I don't know why. I think I'm just so tired right now. But yeah, that's my favorite girl, Willow. She is just the sweetest girl. She watches every time we get new chickens outside, like younger ones. She'll watch over them and stay with them, and she's just the sweetest one we got.
Yeah. And I hope she's not watching in the hen house because you just blanked on. Oh, she's gonna be pissed at you.
Oh, she'll let me hear it tomorrow.
Now this was a funny one with Halloween coming up. I didn't know.
Those
So
aren't our
this-
chickens, but it's maybe a potential.
It's
goal.
a potential idea for us, but that actually wasn't us.
Oh, okay. I wasn't
Copyright
sure about.
2025.
Oh, okay. And then we have these
Go
two,
ahead.
which I thought was absolutely adorable.
Go ahead, Meredith. You
This
can.
is our little girl Violet, and she's been wanting to be a mommy, but her first brood didn't work out. Snake got in and took the eggs a few days before they were scheduled to hatch. She was really
Oh.
depressed, and she went out of broodiness for a little while, and then she went broody again. So I let her keep the eggs that she stole, and that was the chick that hatched and survived.
That is
She was
adorable.
about a
Now-
week and a half old.
Now, I didn't know if this was a serious post the other day because you guys are kooky just like me and Spinja, but did this really happen?
No, no, but it
No.
could.
Okay, I was going to say,
But it's
holy
in
crap.
Yeah, it's in the realm of possibilities.
What? Oh, I was filing. That
That's
might
real.
happen. There's a timeline.
Yeah, you got some Cobra Death chickens.
Yep.
This is a real picture from my birthday, actually.
That is so cool.
And those are Canadian geese, as a matter of fact.
Canada geese.
I like
Yes.
saying Canadian geese. I know it's Canada geese, but I like saying Canadian geese.
And gooses. we joke around calling them
Gooses.
Cobra Death chickens.
Gooses, you know.
Yeah. So I actually saw you guys post, and we're gonna get into the paranormal here too. You guys actually have a lot of activity on your property, and
Oh, yeah.
I saw on your Facebook you guys were doing some silly faces, which is the fun couple thing to do, and you had posted this.
Yeah,
And-
we got photobombed by something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We,
I
we
actually
were
have the other
unable
one.
to debunk that. It was the
You can
clear
actually
day.
see. Yeah. Like
You can see how
actually
it's like
see that it's
on her
touching her.
face and her hair.
I hadn't taken
Exactly.
another
It
photo
is-
right after that, and nothing was there.
It is seriously touching you. Like when you posted that was the first thing I did was zoom in on that. That is just absolutely amazing.
And
Like,
you know
what
what's
kind of
interesting?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you know what's interesting is if you went back on my Facebook and saw the pictures, the selfies I took when I was at the cemetery recently, similar things showed up in the background of my photos. And Meredith was with me that night too. I just found that interesting.
Now, do you think that could possibly be an energy that's following with you guys, or just that it happened to be something at those two places.
Not sure.
It could be either or with us, honestly. With us, it could be either one.
So
Because we've had
something
spirits follow us.
that's actually something I wanted to ask you about, because before the show, this is very fortuitous. We were talking about the fact that I've had a fairly rough couple of weeks and I've had 4 family members pass. This wasn't something I intended on sharing on the show, but the day that my father died, and we were estranged for quite a long time, I had this overwhelming urge to get a hold of him and say, like, look, I understand that everything you did came from a very broken inner child. I will never forget that the things that you did to me, but I do forgive the inner child that became that. And then this wouldn't go away. Like, it was the entire day. It was almost a voice in my head. And I was like, you know, Larry's inner child. And then the next day I found out that he had died while I was having these thoughts. And I kind of came up with my own conclusion that might not necessarily have been me. That could have been him communicating. And the reason I'm asking you guys is Meredith said in, I think it was the Red Rocker one, that you feel other people's presences or other energies. I was wondering if you guys think that's a possibility. Is like there was a nonverbal communication coming through on a psychic level, and it was basically him making amends before he left.
It's very possible. It's still such a gray area. What happens between life and death? I've had family members pass myself, and I always kind of had like. And this is not something I like to share very much, but I get death dream premonitions. So I usually know which family member is essentially scheduled to depart. And I usually get it either 2 weeks to a month before it happens. So, you know, I get things like that. And then the absolute moment that their heart stops and they're declared deceased, I basically know without anybody telling me. Like, I knew about my aunt, the exact time she passed, grandmother, the exact time she passed. So it's very possible that your father may have been trying to remotely, you know, reach out to you to try to make amends before he crossed to wherever it is that he's going.
Okay, I just wanted to throw that out. And there's already a question from Jason H. in the chat. He said, didn't they find a witch jar buried, or am I thinking of someone else?
2 of them.
Yeah. It was really bizarre.
Very bizarre.
I didn't want him touching it. I refused to touch it.
I found them, buried them, still didn't feel right, unburied. Now, mind you, when I buried and unburied them, I never touched them with my bare hand. And then eventually we just relocated them. And then ever since I relocated them, I feel like that more negative kind of presence has been lifted. Because when those were here, it was definitely way more negative on the property with those witches jars, wherever they came from. Whoever placed those there, we don't know how long they had been there, because they were in what used to be a very thick wooded area that was still part of our property that we wouldn't really go towards or go in. And that's where we found them. I just happened to be going back there one day and I'm like, what is this? And then I found another one. So there's 2 of them. And it was like these really, really old mason jars that had like burnt, charred pieces inside and other things. Wax sealed. It had 2 holes in the top. One was sealed with like a putty. The other one was an open hole. It was just very bizarre.
That is very strange. Like, I was actually about to ask, like, what is a witch jar? Because I've never heard the term before. So I was like, is it some type of spell casting?
Labeled it because we didn't really know, but it had very. It
had a witchy vibes to it. I think that's more what we came up with. Yeah, like somebody placed it there intentionally for whatever reason, seemingly negative reasons. Because, like I said, when we discovered them, the negativity around our property was like really heavy until
that's also when I kept getting woken up by somebody like messing with my face.
Yes.
And it stopped after you got rid of them.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah. That is. Michelle from Earth Grid Rescue Mission said, I get the same thing. She's had visions since she was 9 when her mom had passed away. When you were mentioning the... Yeah. So no, like it is kind of interesting. Like I've had some very interesting experiences about coming online lately, and a lot of it has been psychic stuff, and it's not something I talk about a lot on the air, but it's just there's things coming through. So when I was watching you at Red Rocker, I'm like, Kyla's like, you have to ask her what the tells are, because then you'll know if it's the same thing that you're experiencing. So that's why I brought it up. And she just said again, thank you, June Dawn. So you actually have been very busy since the last time you guys were on the show. You guys went to Paracon, didn't you?
Yeah, it's been that long. We went to Penhurst. We went to, and this last year, we went to Gettysburg Bash. We were supposed to go this year, but because of some health reasons, we weren't able to make it this year with me. But we didn't make any of the cons this year just because there's been just way too much going on, and it was just really hard for us to get out and spend a day or a weekend doing that stuff. So, but maybe in the future we'll get back to that.
Are you still doing the haunted tour guide thing?
Well, the plan is to continue forward with doing the Shepherdstown ghost tours, and then eventually it would be Sharpsburg ghost tours. But the Shepherdstown, West Virginia ghost tours, that's Friday and Saturday nights, but I'll be doing the Friday nights. The only issue I have is because I'm having so much problems getting enough sleep recently that trying to stay up that late is really a struggle for me. And just some other like light health stuff going on right now is kind of keeping me with symptoms from the health issues is kind of keeping me. It happens so frequently that it keeps me from being able to like do what I need to do. But I'd like to try to soldier forward and do that so I can continue with doing, pressing forward with doing the ghost tours.
Absolutely. And there's actually somebody in the chat that I'd like to put you into contact with, and it's Michelle from Earth Grid Rescue Mission. She actually works for Veterans Affairs and might be able to. Yeah, I'll put you two in contact with one another because she has hookups for some things that I think might be beneficial to you.
I'll take advantage for sure.
There she is. So you guys, did I do that? Oh, right. Another thing you got going on right now, and I've been going and voting every day, is. So do you want to tell everybody about the Face of Halloween contest that you're currently involved and why they should go vote for you and where to vote for you?
Vote for me because I'm the best. That's all. No, I was kidding. So this is something they do every year, and the winner of the contest wins $13,000, and they get to meet several big-name horror stars from movies. This year, I believe it's Matthew Lillard, Jamie Lee Curtis, and gosh, I can't recall the gentleman's name, but he played Jason in some of the Jason movies. The reason I even tried this year is because I would love to meet them. It's really would be great, but also like to be able to win the money would be so helpful for us right now with so much going on, especially with some health issues and everything. That would be really great. But if anybody, if you do decide you want to vote for me, I would really appreciate it. One vote is free, and you can vote for me every 24 hours. I think if you wanted to do more than one vote, donations go towards I think like it goes towards a charity that they're doing right now for like children with cancer. So like if you want to do 10 votes for me at a time, it's $10, $20 for 20 votes, and so on and so forth. So thank you so much. If you want to vote for me, I'd really appreciate it. You don't have to, but it's out there. Just check it out. It's on Don's page. It's on my page as well, Brian K. Fuller. and I really appreciate it.
It's actually scrolling underneath us right now if you want to put it in as well.
Oh, perfect. Don,
Yeah.
I really appreciate
Kyle's
it.
gonna hop over.
I'm actually in fourth place
Kyle's
right now in my group, so I think I got
You've come
about a
up
week
2 in a
left.
day, buddy.
Huh?
You've come up 2 spots in a day. Like yesterday afternoon, 6th, and now you're in 4th. Like,
yeah, I'm really excited.
We'll get you some votes out there.
I really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. So you were talking about the activity that goes on in your backyard, and that is just amazing. Like, I've watched videos for that as well. This one in particular, I'm going to play the first clip because I didn't really get the understanding of, I guess something had happened the night before, but I didn't find the video from the night before. So once I play this, can you tell us what you were doing and why you were doing it out in the woods?
If there's something bad in the woods here, can you turn one of those flashlights on for me, please? Something negative in the woods. There is. Okay, thank you. Is the thing that's negative in the woods, is it human? Turn the flashlight off if it's human. Turn the flashlight off if it's inhuman. Oh boy, that's not good.
So I actually played them out of sequence, but there was a bug from your backyard.
Can you tell me, were you trying to get our attention last night to communicate with you? Can you turn the flashlight on, please? If that was you. So it wasn't you? If somebody else was trying to get our attention last night, okay, so it was somebody else trying to get our attention last night. Can you, definitely somebody else, okay. Can you please give me your name? Oh, both flashlights are on.
We're lost here.
Oh, is there, if there's a way that I can help you, can you turn off both flashlights? Can I help you? Since you're lost here, is there a way that I can help you? Turn off the flashlight. I'd love to help you if you're lost. Maybe I can help you find your way or cross over. Would you like that? If you'd like for me to help you cross over and find peace, turn the flashlight on.
Attached.
Are you attached to me? You can't be attached to me. You don't have my permission.
So what I was wondering is what had happened the night before and what were you suspecting is going on in the woods?
I'm really, that was so long ago. I'm trying to remember specifically what was going on specifically in the woods, but that might have been one of the nights where like things outside, like we had when we had the original chickens, like they were screeching and making all these kind of noises late at night, freezing in place, staring off at things towards the woods. And we had these what's called predator lights set up outside that are supposed to come on at night, or once dusk hits, they're supposed to come on and just flash and flash and flash. But they kept flashing only when we looked at them, and then they would be off. And then we started like asking questions, and then they would answer the questions. And I'm trying to remember if that was that also might have been the night before, where Meredith, we had a camera set up. I think this is what it might have been. The night before, we had a camera set up that was inside the coop, that was facing towards the back of the woods, and we caught a figure with a tall figure with glowing eyes, like a tall figure.
No, I watched it live.
And she watched it live, moving through the backyard in the like the front of the woods. and we were watching it live. And it got to a point where we ran out there with big sticks and we were yelling at it to leave because whatever it was, it was huge.
I ran out there like Xena Warrior.
Yeah, it was. It did not look good, whatever it was, and it was too tall to be like any regular animal, and I mean way too tall, and it had some pretty freaky looking eyes, and we're like that whatever that thing is, it's definitely gonna get our chickens. So that's I believe that was the night before.
I forgot all about that.
Okay.
That was so.
That was creepy. We were just sitting here on the couch watching it. She's like, "You got to watch this." That was crazy.
So we had a question from Cosmic Voice. What type of flashlights are those?
It's the little mini mag lights that twist. So basically, you just kind of twist it to in between on and off position. And the idea is the spirit can manipulate it to answer your questions.
Okay.
And a lot of times they work when you're asking questions. They tend to come on and off when you ask them to turn them on and off to certain questions. Not every time, but for the most part, they do.
No, you guys get a lot of activity. Like we've watched the Ghost Hunter shows and all that. You guys get a lot of activity on your lights, and it's really impressive. Like I've watched a lot of your stuff, and to see the way that the interaction, like some of them are like right on point. Like you know that they're answering a question. Like I've seen it where it's like maybe because that's 30 seconds, 45 seconds. There's a lag, but with a lot of the footage you guys end up getting, it literally is within seconds, right? And I think that has a lot to do with the way you interact with them too, is because you're very polite with them, where a lot of people kind of try to mess with them. I like your guys' approach, is what I'm getting at. So you kind of set me up perfect to share that story that I was going to share.
Yay!
This is the story of the first day that Kyla ever came to my house. And it just so happened that my best friend and my best man from my wedding was at my house, and she shows up, and oddly enough, my best friend is dating one of her old friends, and none of us knew each other than like I knew my friend and she knew her friend, but they were dating each other, and we had no idea that they were friends because this is the first time she had come to my house, right? So it's literally just a weird set of circumstances to begin with. Nothing to do with the story, though. My house at the time backed onto a forest, and a fairly dense one in Bobcage in Ontario. And as the night progressed, we were hearing something in the woods, right? And my buddy is like a 6-foot-something truck driving, beer drinking badass. Like, he is not afraid of anything. And he's like, bro, I can see eyes in the forest. And I kind of like tiptoed up to his level, and I'm like, yeah, I can see those too. And it was exactly what you're explaining, just staring out at us through the forest. And like, Kyla was there, and like, she can verify everything I'm about to say. Things kept happening throughout the night. Like Scott and I still drank at the time, so we're drinking and we're having a bit of fun. And this thing is, you know, within 50 to 100 yards of us, whatever it is. We don't know if it's a bear or something in a tree or what. This is where it's going to get your attention. It starts to stomp because we're irritating it. And I don't mean it cracked a bush. I mean, you could hear a giant ass foot beating against the ground because it was pissed off. And he's like, okay, yeah, well, maybe that's tonight. And we ended up having a couple more beers and calming down, and we stopped bugging whatever was in the bush. Well, I got my Brave boots on because I've had about a dozen beers by this time. And my buddy had a tent on the edge of our fence line where the trees were. I'm like, you know what? I ain't scared of shit. I'm sleeping in that tent. I slept in that tent. I woke up with scratch marks on my feet, my shoes ripped off of my feet, a rock that was shaped like a foot in the tent and my shoes were 15 feet in the air in a tree. And I mean, when I say in a tree, the branch was an inch thick. And
There was no way he could have, well, especially in the state that he was in, but there was no way that he could have climbed up that tree physically.
Like, something got its revenge on me that night because we were fucking with it.
The blue eyes.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
like we were provoking it and drinking idiots, and I had a full-on unconscious encounter. And I apologize so much. I forgot your kid was just off camera. I drive truck.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
he's heard.
I was like, uh-oh. So no, that was the one I wanted to share with you because, like, when you were just talking about the eyes and stuff, it's like, yeah, I've seen those eyes, and like I could get the guy on a call right now that was standing there with me, and it was one of the most crazy experiences of my life because I walked into my house, falling asleep on the couch. I walked into my house, I'm like, bro, have you seen my shoes? And he's like, no, why? What? And he's like, you had your shoes on when you went to bed. So we ended up walking about 15 feet, 20 feet into the woods, and I just happened to look up, and there's one shoe, and then on the other end of the tree is the other shoe, and it was like something that was well over 10 feet tall just went bloop, bloop, screw you.
Well, and you should probably say why the tent was there in the first place, because you weren't the one that pitched it.
Yeah, that was my buddy's son. He knew there was a legend about there being something in that bush. And he's like, I'm going to put a tent there. And he lasted one night and was all of a sudden very, very ill and never came back to get his tent. So it sat there for like a week and a half.
Yep.
Do they ever get apart? Objects appearing out of nowhere from another realm. I explain.
We don't know if they're just randomly appearing or if our chickens are digging them up, but we have found a lot of bizarre things in the back of our property. I actually just found a military ring from the previous owner, and I've been in this house for over 8 years, and I've been in that area countless times, and I've never seen anything. And then I go out there recently, and it's just sitting there on the ground, just out of nowhere. I figured the chickens had dug it up, but I don't know.
Things also disappear.
And yeah, things disappear more than appear.
Yeah. Bastards.
That is really strange. And I can't find the comment, but Jason had actually mentioned that type of investigation that you were explaining to me before we started. Esty? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Can you explain to everybody what that is and the results you guys have gotten with it?
So basically, to sum it up, it's basically like a sensory deprivation kind of. So like, you block out your vision, you block out your hearing, and the only thing that you're able to listen to is like a spirit box. And so you kind of sit away from people. Typically, you want to be alone in a dark area. And then somebody else is going to be asking questions. And as you're asking questions, the other person who's is going to be getting the answers most likely. And so when Meredith and I do it, she's always under and I'm always asking questions because that always works. We have always, every time we've ever done an SD session, it is always given us great evidence, or great conversation, really. The best we ever had was our Halloween investigation, where we were talking to a female spirit who was talking about our dog, saying, poor dog. And at the time, our dog was dying of cancer. The female spirit that was communicating with us, I mean, her and I had a full-on heartfelt conversation where she was answering questions for me that, I mean, like I was talking to just anybody. But she actually made me feel better about things, having this conversation with her. And I mean, I haven't had one as good since then, but we actually haven't really done too many since then. But I recommend that anybody who does investigations to try the Estes method, because you know, and then and if you do it with yourself and somebody else and it doesn't work that great, try switching up, because sometimes it seems like one person's better at listening and one person's better at asking the questions, or like it's like the spirit is more comfortable answering the questions to the person that's asking them. Might be something like that. I can't say for sure, but it works every time for us.
I actually want to talk to you later and see where you like how to do it, because I'm interested in trying it now, because it sounds absolutely fascinating, because I've seen the spirit boxes work, and I've never been where somebody's used one, but I have seen them work on television and on other shows. So like it fascinates me, this communication with other energies and other dimensions, because I do believe there is some ways that we can still communicate with things that aren't here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in physicality anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one of your investigations that I've grabbed clips of because I found it really interesting is your Red Rocker and your investigation. And I'm going to go into that. And if you want to, once the clip is done, because for some reason it mutes you guys, if you want to like tell us what you guys were doing at that time, and then I'll probably have questions as we go, because I know I grabbed each clip for a reason. So I'm going to play the first one, and we'll watch that, and then we'll go from there.
Here at the Red Rocker in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, doing an investigation here with the employees of the Red Rocker.
Yep, the Red Rocker crew.
We got the stories from the employees. Meredith walked around and she did her baseline of everything. We have a little common ground here between what she's picked up on and what the employees have experienced. So I think what we'll do first is maybe start with a hotspot. What do you think of that? Start with a hotspot, maybe set up some equipment in a couple of different areas.
Yeah.
And then we could try doing like we could try to do first like a walk around with some of the equipment, or we could set right up and use the flashlights or something. What do you think?
I would like to save the flashlights for the basement.
I think that's a great idea.
Definitely the basement. Flashlight experiment is crazy. That is a given to get activity, is the flashlight.
We also have a thermal imager.
Oh, cool.
Which can pick up.
So do you want to just grab a couple things, maybe some cat balls? I can stick some cat balls in
That
my
sounds
pocket.
good. Let's grab some things. You want to grab maybe the mini REM pod and stuff?
So what you guys are doing there is basically just setting up. And the reason I grabbed that one is like you guys are there with a whole bunch of live witnesses. Is that the first time you guys ever did that, or have you had other people with like follow you with the investigations before?
That was the first time we've actually done what we considered a private investigation. One of the women that was in that video, she reached out to Brian because of a mutual contact that they have, got a business card from somebody, called him and was telling him that there's been a lot of activity in this antique shop, which, with antique shops, you don't really know what you're getting and what's attached to them or whatnot. So all those things compiled into one tight space, you're bound to have, energies clash. So they were having a lot of activity. So with that being in mind, I wanted to just walk through the building with the person that had called Brian, just to kind of get a reading on the areas. And then I had a notebook with me. And every time I picked up on something, I wrote it down and what location I was in. And then after the walkthrough, I sat down with her and went through everything. I had her basically just tell me everything that's been going on there. And then if anything matched up with what I had written down, I would show her and be like, well, this is what I picked up. So it's matching. I wanted to basically validate the reports and make sure this wasn't, a bunch of paranoia or, anything like that. Because, there are, a lot of people do jump to conclusions. If something abnormal happens, they're like, oh my God, it's paranormal. So, not knowing any of these individuals, I wanted to try to match up occurrences to try to validate there was, in fact, something truly paranormal going on there. So that being able to match up my notes with what she was telling me, it helped also validate what she had been experiencing, and she didn't feel crazy anymore. So that was a really exciting experience for us to go there and be able to do that for them. We got a lot of very valid evidence. And, we did an Estes there as well. And that we had some very interesting things. It was like it was shuffling through time periods of that building.
Yeah.
It was very...
Unfortunately, the camera battery died, so we did get to record the Estes, which I wish we had, because that was a really good session. But I know that at one point, the woman who called us to come there, her mother came through in the SD session. I was talking to her mother and asking, she was having me ask questions that was then answering her and to confirm that was her mother coming through. So she got a lot of clarity and everything that day. So
that is awesome. Just for people like me and people listening, when you say you get these senses, like, what does it feel like physically?
I guess it depends on what or who. Sometimes if it's a little on the not so friendly side, I usually get like pains in my chest, kind of feel like somebody's watching me, kind of that fight or flight kind of feeling. If it's something that's highly emotional, I usually end up adopting those emotions as if they're mine. We had an incident in Harper's Ferry where I got dumped by something and I was just like crying uncontrollably. It went from like happy-go-lucky having like an outing together to me like standing behind a building crying my eyes out, begging whoever this was to let go. Other times it's just kind of like that sense that you're not alone. Other things just kind of pop into my brain, like as if I always knew them, but I know sure I didn't actually know them. It's just almost like knowledge just pops in my head. Like I know when somebody's lying to me, or I know when somebody's hiding something from me. I know.
Yeah. I can't
even try.
hide anything.
Just don't even try.
It keeps me honest.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to explain it. It took me a really, really long time to accept all this.
I don't doubt it. I'm just figuring some of this stuff out, and it is a very strange experience. Cosmic Voice had another question. Vikingcat, do you have a full spectrum camera? They work very well. I used to film paranormal with one.
No, that's something that we don't currently have, but it's definitely on the list. We do have things like we do have like an IR camera. We do have a oh my gosh, what's that called? We have a thermal camera, but we do not have a full spectrum at the moment.
I'm actually going to play. Go ahead. I'm going to play the next couple. It's that freaking delay. It gets me every time. I apologize. There's like a half-second delay between mine and yours.
Yeah,
so
I hear that.
I know, we see you moving and talking, and then you freeze, and then we hear everything you just said.
Yeah. I'm going to play the next clip. So
one thing I'd like to do, since I'm picking up on an adolescent girl, maybe preteen age, is stick this somewhere. I know it's kind of a little below her age range that I'm picking up on, but maybe still...
Well, he did say that particular hallway.
That's where I want to put this.
Okay, sounds good.
'Cause it's loud enough. If anybody messes with it, we'll hear it from where we are in the building.
Yep. by the registers.
All right, let me turn you on while I have some
Right
light.
here in this hallway is where one of the employees felt like somebody had brushed up against him in the hallway. So right here, as he was walking through this hallway, his son was behind him, and he felt somebody brush up past him right here in the hallway.
So when I was in this hallway walking around, I kept feeling like at any minute somebody was just going to peek their head around and look at us. You heard that too?
Yeah. You. Is that Matt?
Somebody.
Mad.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's debunk.
I was gonna say that sounds like something.
Is it cool?
Oh, that's a pretty good start.
Let me put you. So you have this cute little bear, or actually puppy. You can touch the hands. You can touch the tummy.
Hi. I love the ABCs.
And then there's feet. You can use your energy to touch the different parts of this little puppy. I keep wanting to call it a bear. And that'll let us know you're here. It's also just something fun for you to play with. Something new. We're going to set it here in the hallway for you. Feel free to play.
So that's actually something I hadn't seen before, and that's really smart to use I've seen like cat balls and the lights and stuff, but I hadn't seen somebody use like a plush toy where you can actually squeeze the hands. Did you guys just come up with that, or had you seen that somewhere, or like what made you guys?
Actually, like people use like the Boo Bears where you can like touch the stomach and stuff. But actually, that's the ABC bear, like for kids. Like you could get it at like the toy store, and that's where I got that, and it works like a charm. And there's actually more places that it can be touched than like the regular, like paranormal bears you can buy.
That is a stroke of genius. Like when I saw that, how like, and she wasn't really squeezing on it, but you could definitely see you have to be tactile with it in order to get a response. So that's very clever. Like I love that.
Before.
Remember it went off when we were in a different part of the building.
It
and
went off
everybody
there.
was like, they're freaking out, like, is that the dog?
It went off there. It went off when we were downstairs at the haunted lock house. It was upstairs in a bedroom. It went off upstairs when we were downstairs.
I remember that.
It's worked quite a few times. It's worked for us.
This-
Yeah, Jason.
Oh, sorry. Just 1 second. Lots of investigations, people have to ask the spirits not to follow back. What do they do for protection at the homestead?
Well, we do try to set boundaries. We do tell them, please do not follow us in the house. Please leave our son alone. If you comply, we will come back and talk to you. We try to offer like that window that, we can come back and communicate with you at a different time. Just respect our wishes and not follow us in the house. Doesn't always work.
Periodically. They like to come in.
Yeah, sometimes they like to come in, and Brian and I get woken up by heavy footsteps in the hallway. Because you can sleep through an atomic bomb going off, son.
Yeah, we'll hear like heavy footsteps. We'll hear shuffling around. Just kind of regular noises that shouldn't be there. And, everybody's laying in bed asleep, and Meredith and I, because we'll be in two separate, I'll be laying out in the chair in the living room. She'll be back in the bedroom, and you can just hear plain as day these heavy footsteps coming down the hallway that are just, so obvious. Get up and look down the hallway. There's nobody there.
Chairs being pulled from the table.
That same night, one of the nights recently, I heard the heavy footsteps. I was sitting in the dark out here, except just looking at my phone, and something pulled one of our dining room chairs out from under the table. And those are pretty heavy chairs.
That is just wild. Like the stuff, I don't doubt this at all. I'm going to go to the next clip.
My arms.
Picking up already?
Yeah. I want to put this somewhere too. This thing is loud as hell. So we will definitely hear this
set that up in a further off spot because our music box here is actually pretty loud, so you can hear that just about anywhere in this building.
I feel like this wouldn't be really good for that wind chime room.
We'll lead the
That
way.
was this way, right? Back
You
in.
can go left, go down, and go left.
The toy room.
And that's the doll.
Right there on the corner.
That one.
So this is the doll right here that some of the employees and some of the customers have had some kind of feelings about. And Meredith herself does not like this doll.
I don't know if I like that music box. Trust me,
Well,
when
it's-
it goes off and you're nowhere near it, your entire body is gonna.
It's
Hang out.
there you go already.
And I have it faced to the back wall, so I'm not setting that. off.
We're away from the sensor.
So my first question is, what were those little boxes that Meredith had?
So one of them was a music box. It's a. You probably explain it better. You're the tech.
So it's a motion censored music box. So you set it up in one direction, and if something substantial crosses its path, it's going to set it off and play that creepy music. The other one is like a 360 kind of sensor. So if something comes like within a 360 directional, within a certain amount of space, that's going to light up and it's going to beep really loud. So that's what those two boxes were that we were setting up in different areas.
Awesome. No, I love getting to learn what this equipment is because I find this stuff fascinating because like there has to be a way to communicate with these energies.
They all work too, trust me.
Oh, my other question was, what was the deal with that doll and what we're getting off of it?
He was asking what was with the doll and what were you getting off of it.
Oh, so when I did my walkthrough, I don't like dolls at all. I never have. I locked my porcelain dolls in the closet as a child because I felt they were watching me. Just don't like them. You'll never get me on Doll Island in Mexico. I can tell you that right now. But I was just doing a walkthrough, and I was talking to the lady who had contacted us, and I just all of a sudden just kind of stopped in my tracks and like looked over in the direction of where all those dolls were sitting, and that particular one just fell off. And so I said something at the moment. I did write it down, but I felt like I had to say something right at that moment. And when I did that, like the woman that I was walking around with, like gasped. She's like, I get really creepy vibes from that. Later down in through the video, we actually all grouped around that doll and we did a session there, and we got some things on there that made one of the employees very uncomfortable. So after all the cameras were cut and everything, worked with her on how to, set boundaries and everything, because basically what we were getting from this doll is whatever was attached to it had its eyes set on her. It just didn't seem friendly. I don't think it was like demonic or anything like that, but it certainly didn't have great intentions.
Yeah, I am not a big fan of dolls. There's the whole "can you put a soul in a doll" thing that has always creeped me out, and I did not like my sister's porcelain dolls at all. So you're not alone.
We do have a doll that we take with us places. Like we went to Gettysburg Orphanage to do an investigation, and we do have an old porcelain doll that we take with us to places.
It was one that I had locked in the closet as a child, so it probably is waiting for its moment to pay me back.
Yeah, you're gonna end up locked in the closet by accident someday.
Yeah.
Or find her tied to the bed or something.
Oh dear.
What if she's a forgiving doll?
Yeah,
Now's the time to shine, right?
Yeah. I gotta go to the
little
next
mini
one.
REM pod right here. If there's a location you'd like to see this set up at to see if something would interact with it, can you think of a place in here you'd like to set it up yourself?
It's also another thing to think of too is you guys are here all the time. They're familiar with you. They're gonna probably
that
interact
hallway.
with you.
The
They're
hallway
going
on the
to
other
interact
side.
with you more than they're going to interact with us.
So it's got an antenna on it, so basically, if anything gets near it whatsoever,
Should put that in the hallway with the stuffed animal? Because you've
Maybe
already
if
got
somebody-
one in there. The other one would be in the uranium room.
and we got
941's
and we
room.
got a big version of this as well, right there.
Yeah, right in front of the office on the side. I want.
At your door,
Yeah, right around there.
where I
I
witnessed.
know a spot, but it's closer to that one, so.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Let's go with yours. Yours is closer.
It's
Where?
right in here. Right next to the Mickey Mouse.
Okay. Let's see, it's loud enough, so if we're... And you really got to get up on that thing to make that thing go off.
So I had never seen one of those before either. What is a REM pod? What do you have to do to get it to do that? Because like, I just love learning about the technology of these things.
Okay, so it's like it makes its own electromagnetic field. So when anything breaks that electromagnetic field, like a solid item, like a person or anything that produces an electromagnetic field itself, like they say that spirits do, it will set that off so it'll beep. And that's basically the idea of how those REM pods work.
That's awesome. Jason in the chat had said dowsing rods. Oh, wrong one. Dowsing rods are a cool tool, but not used enough. Meredith went and got hers. Of course, she has a set right there. Yeah, that is awesome. We actually had done an experiment with like using dowsing rods to measure living human emotion, and like, if you put yourself in a negative mind frame, your field around you, even as a physical being, is about 5 feet. But if you're projecting a authentic happy feeling, you end up about 25 feet.
That means yes.
Right?
I will marry you.
I actually have the video on YouTube somewhere, but it's those things are absolutely fascinating. Thank you for bringing that up, Jason. So we'll go to this one.
This is our spirit talker. We've had a lot of really good luck with this. This is
Really,
the
really
nicer of the two. The other one we get a lot of profanity on. So we'll just start with this one. So if there's anybody that wants to talk to us, this is basically like a dictionary. You can search through for a word that you'd like to share with us. Where did you want us over here? Is this the booth?
If we're sitting over there,
There's a booth over here we can sit if you want.
Gary?
Gary.
Does that sound relevant? Gary? Gary, who are you?
Did you hear something too?
The puppy.
I feel free now.
Is that one there?
No, the puppy went off. So, and you have to use a lot of
Okay,
energy.
I thought I heard something.
I did too. It was like a kind of noise.
Yeah.
So there was a lot going on in that one. Like the puppy went off, you guys heard a gasp, and then the spirit doctor said, "I feel free now," and that was all within like seconds of each other.
Yeah, there was definitely.
What do
more
you
than
think?
one.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is like there was things going off all around you, and it just seemed like you guys want our attention. Well, here we are, kind of thing. That's the way I kind of took that moment. Was like, oh, well, I'll talk through the spirit thing, and we'll make the puppy go out. It was like they all went, okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Right? It was just such a strange sequence that everything happened at once.
Oh, you got to also remember, we have to remember that we were the first ones to go in there and investigate. So we were the first ones to walk through that building with willingness to open our senses to communicate with them. Whereas everybody else that's gone through that building, through those doors, did not have that intention in mind. They came in to shop or to work or whatever the case may be. We were the first ones walking in there saying, hey, we're here, let's talk. So they probably were like, oh my God, there's somebody here that wants to actually talk to us and can actually do so. So they probably were just really excited and kind of bombarding us.
I think that is a huge part of it, is like actually being willing to receive the messages. And like Cosmic Voice was saying, you definitely need to protect yourself. But a lot of people are, no, that can't happen. And it's a psychological subconscious block. It can't happen because you won't let it, right? You actually have to be open to the channel of receiving the information from wherever it's coming from, is my personal opinion on it.
Yeah, that investigation definitely converted some skeptics into believers, including the business owners.
I believe it, because we're going to get to some good stuff here.
I know that one of the employees I spoke with said that he was in here turning off lights one night, and this light right here, he swore he turned it off and it was turned back on. And I looked at it, and the thing about this is, to turn this thing on and off, you really gotta push that thing for it to turn on and off. So if that really did happen. I got something else that might be interesting for all you guys. If there's like just a big general location, you want to start to see something, we could set this up somewhere and see if anything passes through. It's a good way to see if anything passes through. And we could take this anywhere we go through the building.
So what was that device that you guys were using? Like, where did you get that? Because I've seen it on other shows, but I don't know what it is.
I just ordered it online, I think through Amazon like a year ago, and you can adjust it to, make it tighter or bigger, and you basically just set it somewhere and it spreads out, and it's a good way to capture shadow figures.
If something breaks that laser grid, you'll see it.
Yeah.
No, I love the upgrades you guys have gotten since we talked last, because like it's great to watch you guys developing your practice, because that's basically what it is. And like I don't watch a whole lot of shows, but when I can find your guys' videos, I absolutely love watching them, because like you guys do it the way I would do it. And I think that's what appeals to me, is like you don't have 15 guys in a camera crew and this and that. It's a husband and wife doing what they're passionate about to try and get answers. And I freaking love it. Like, I think that's why she was drawn to it and what drew me into it as well. I think this might be the one where I looped something, and if it's the one, you'll know why I looped it, because something happened in one of your clips that I wanted to make very, very clear, and because it was just awesome. So
Here's something over here.
What about the person we heard grunting a little bit ago?
It sounded like a male grunt to me.
That matches up with the male that I was reading.
Like a real agitated male.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me.
Like a male voice.
It's like a male grunt, like kind of like that.
Like, I know, like, are you not happy we're here?
The living.
That would be us, yeah.
Are you irritated that there's living people here? Sound like a piano?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there a piano here? Well, here? Well, here?
The piano sound you heard, where did it come from? Did you tell that direction?
Yeah.
The piano?
There's
I thought I heard it back this way.
Yeah, that's not, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, so a few of you guys heard it.
Yeah.
It was like 2 notes. Doo, doo.
So I'm going to bring up Cosmic's question there in a minute, but like that was one of the most fascinating parts of that investigation to me. Like everybody that was there was locked in with you. There was nobody else that could have been doing that. And The only explanation they had is there was a keyboard in another room, but everybody was with you guys, right? So I am still just dumbfounded by that, because like I know the sound of a piano. I grew up in a family that played music, right? That is a piano. That is somebody doing 2 different chords on a piano.
We heard it several times too.
Really? Like
more than that one time. We heard it like a couple other times, like further in their video. I don't know if we captured it on video or not, but I think other people had heard it again in different areas of the building.
We heard it again when we were in the basement.
Yes, we were in the basement of the building, and we heard it again. I don't remember if we heard it in the basement or heard it above us. It was above us, yeah, but we heard it again when we were in the basement. And everyone was downstairs in the basement with us.
That is, I don't even know how to explain that one. We do have another audience question. Do they get many interdimensional ET ships around their property? Is it often related to the paranormal activity? Do you see much stuff in the sky around your property?
Not so much, ET type stuff, UFOs. We don't see it too much of that. At least not so much that we've noticed.
2020, before I met him, during COVID. So of course, a lot of flights were canceled, if not all of them. So, we didn't have the pollution in the skies like we would normally have. People were driving less. So the skies were just crystal clear. You could see every star and planet and constellation. It was always beautiful. So when I had the dogs, I spent a lot of time, just kind of standing out in the backyard while they did their thing, just kind of staring up at the sky. And I definitely saw some things that did not look like satellites or helicopters or planes or anything like that. It's just the way it was moving. And then I don't know if you remember, but when we were camping out in the backyard.
Oh yeah.
You had fallen asleep. Ryan was watching something on his tablet, and I was just laying there we had the top part open, and I was laying there, and there was something that was just kind of hovering right above our property, and it wasn't moving, and it was I laid there for a while, like, should I alert anybody or just sit here and observe? I think I just observed because I didn't really feel threatened, and then you had something just the other day.
Yeah, actually just the other day. Now this wasn't above our property, but it was down the road. I did spot a UFO. I was down at the Steno Canal just doing my usual exercise walk, and there's an old decommissioned power plant, and I was walking close to that, and I was just looking up at the smoke tower or something on there, and I did see something. It literally looked saucer shaped. That's what I thought was so interesting about it. It's like, you think the idea of a UFO, like an alien UFO, it's like saucer shaped. It literally was saucer shaped, and it came from one side and passed, and it was moving really fast. But then as I went to grab my camera out to record it, it completely stopped, and shot straight up in the air, and then it was gone before I could even get my camera out.
And he and I never really got into the whole, UFO extraterrestrial thing as much. We were cautiously open-minded, but it hasn't been until the last few years that I've been kind of like, okay, maybe there's something here.
Yeah, it's definitely more interesting now.
Especially living in a digital world, everybody's got a phone. Everybody's quick to pull their phone out and start videotaping things. We're starting to see more and more concrete evidence that, maybe there is something keeping an eye on us. Watching this big globe of Jerry Springer show going on all the time.
It is one giant performance at this point. I completely agree with that. Jason H. asks, do they plan on doing any more live investigations?
Yeah.
We would love to do another Halloween one.
Yeah, before the Halloween one, we might do another live one here on our property again. That would probably be the next one. And then we were planning on doing an investigation at some point at the so we did that Haunted Lock House 22 last year. Now there's another lock house further away that's like supposed to be even more active, and we're gonna plan on staying the night there, or at least try to stay the night there and investigate there as well. So we're got a couple of things on the horizon. So just be on the lookout.
That is
Definitely,
awesome.
definitely gonna have a live one coming soon.
And again, it's been scrolling the whole time. Your guys' channel is right underneath here. So I do have one last clip, and I think it might be what Meredith was partly referring to. It's further into the
That
investigation.
one works. That one should work anyway.
So this flashlight here, if you tap it, it'll turn on.
Cowardice.
Don't be scared.
Thank you. Can you turn it back off, please? Tap it again and it'll turn it right back off. Please turn the flashlight off. Turn it off the same way you turned it on. Almost there.
Trying.
Thank you.
Oh my.
This is one of my favorites.
My name is Joan.
So it turned it off and then identified itself.
That's
And
what it seems
that-
like, yeah.
And then that was pretty close to the end of the investigation. Is that what kind of led into what you were talking about earlier, where it was making the person uncomfortable?
Well, I mean, it could. I don't really like. Well, he and I don't really believe in demons and that aspect, because demons is a category of Catholicism, and although we have no problem with anybody who's religious, we don't follow that belief ourselves. I am prescribed or subscribe more to the idea of what's categorized as demons could be more on the lines of like elementals, seen as that those beings, those entities have been around longer than Catholicism has been. So I don't know if what was in that doll was an elemental or a once human spirit. It's kind of hard to say, because if it's something that has bad intention, it's going to pretend to be something that it's not actually, just to kind of lure you in, gain some trust, and then, it's kind of hard. And that's with anything, not just creepy dolls, but anyone you're talking to through these various communications, you don't really know exactly who or what you're talking to, because unless you actually can put eyes on it and see its true self, then you don't really know. You got to be cautious.
I absolutely agree, and I think that's great advice for anybody getting into this. And I wanted to ask, before we get wrapping up here, the speaker box apps that you guys have, are those something that anybody can just get on their phone, or like the one you were just using there, like how to get the communication?
So here's the thing: is a lot of people are skeptical of like the spirit talker and and we both were. And you're thinking like getting the more expensive one, you might be more legitimate, and that could be true. But here's the thing: we have been using like the spirit talker, this app, for a year and a half, and it's like you're thinking, okay, maybe you say something out loud and it's hearing you and responding that way. We've done so many tests on it, like asking questions in our head and getting direct responses back, and I give that thing a 90% accuracy on taking it on investigations, how accurate that's been. And we tried using different devices, getting the same answers. It's crazy how accurate that could be. Now, there are times where you're kind of like, well, are you sure this thing's working? Or is it really giving me the right answers here? But for the most part, 90% of the time, it's pretty legit. And
it took me a long
time, yeah,
before I really trusted it. I kept saying, there's no way this works on a phone. It's a phone app. You pay a few dollars for it. There's no way it works. And then it started giving me things that were extremely relevant. My ex-husband actually passed away about 3 years ago.
What's that?
My spirit talker.
Oh.
I sat it down and it's now talking to us.
Oh, good.
He passed away about 3 years ago, and not to get into a lot of details, but he wasn't exactly the kindest person towards me. And the spirit talker has come, not just the spirit talker, but the spirit talker has come across with some things that were concretely him. And I think that's when I really started to believe that this worked. I still take it with a grain of salt, and I try to pay attention to anything that might match up. But for the most part, spirit talker and the necromancer are pretty good apps. Necromancer, you're going to get a lot of necrometer, whatever. Necrometer. Yeah. Necrometer is going to give you a lot of profanity. We had a really nasty spirit that kept targeting me.
Yeah.
Ford. He did not like
just
me.
Through the spirit talker. That was through like the spirit box too.
He was calling me effing B's.
He was a piece of crap
and everything else, but he did not like me.
Oh wow.
He wouldn't stand up to me though. but he would talk all kinds of crap about her. But if I asked him questions, he'd be like, "Oh yes, sir. Yeah, that's right. Okay, yes." But for her, he'd be like, "You stupid little bitch," and it was ridiculous. But
I would tell him, I'd give him a piece of my mind, tell him he can't talk to me like that, and he would laugh.
Yeah.
That is wild. Like, just some misogynistic ghost, I guess.
And apparently, he said that I asked the question. I said, "Did you unalive women?" And he said, "Yes."
Holy shit!
Based on a long time of conversating with him and all the negative things he's said to her and about other women, and even some female spirits came through and claimed to be his victim.
Holy shit! Yeah, I definitely have to check that thing out.
I'm dead serious.
He eventually kind of phased out of the picture.
He did. We haven't heard from him in a very long time. But for a while, he was very prominent.
So, one thing I had to pull up because you posted this the other day, and I swear I had like flashbacks to grade 7, 6.
Yeah.
This lovely piece of equipment. Like, I remember borrowing one of these from the school library before I had a ghetto blaster.
That's how I started. I would borrow that from the school library so I could take it on investigations when I was in middle school. Because that's when I started investigating in middle school.
Yeah.
No, over 20 something years ago.
Yeah. That is friggin' cool. Like I was just like, oh my god, I remember taking those out from the school.
Weren't they awesome?
Oh, they were great. Like my parents didn't get me a ghetto blaster, and then I started bringing that home, and they took the hint and actually got me a ghetto blaster. So I really appreciate those things. Like,
it's that nostalgia.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw this back up. Do you want to tell everybody one more time where to get a hold of you for this contest, where to get a hold of you for the videos, and all of that great stuff?
I think you might be able to look me up on Faces of Halloween on their website or Facebook. But if you, I have it on our Vikingcat Paranormal page. You just click the link. One vote is free. You can vote every 24 hours for free. If you wanted to, if you do donate, like say $10 for 10 votes, which is a huge help, but the donations go to, I just honestly can't remember the name of the charity, but it's a children's charity, I believe, for cancer. So that's what all the donations are benefit. You can find it on our Vikingcat page or Don's page or even Brian K. Fuller. That's my page. You can come onto my page and I got it there as well. And, any votes at all, even just one is I would really appreciate it, guys. 4th place right now. So, Starlight Children's Foundation. That's what it's called. Starlight Children's Foundation. That's what it benefits.
Let's get him into first, guys. I know we can do this. Like, check it. I'm going to actually go into the description and make sure I have the link for the contest as well. And if I don't, I'll fix that. And I'm pretty sure the dude that played Jason that you're thinking of is Kane Hooder.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
I just couldn't remember his name earlier.
Yeah.
I want to see this guy, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah, no, I was a huge Freddie and Jason fan back in the day. Everybody else had the girly posters. I had Freddy Krueger above my bed. And
I also get to meet Jamie Lee Curtis, and since Halloween is my favorite franchise, meeting her would be awesome.
Oh, that would be astonishing. Like that.
It would be so awesome for me. It would be a dream.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I want to wrap this up and thank you for an awesome conversation. I know we have all had a hell of a long week, and I don't want to keep you too long. And it's hot as balls sitting in front of this camera, honestly. So,
well, thanks for having us, guys.
Absolutely. And, Silent Bob's been here the whole time, but she's been just man in the chat for me. Kane Hooder has been on paranormal shows, just saying.
Yes. Yeah, he has.
There you go. Maybe he's
been doing investigations. He's been doing lots of investigations.
I've actually shot my shot for some pretty big people, and sometimes they're cool about it and will come on. So, maybe shoot your shot, take a swing, and see if we'll come on an investigation with you guys. Because
let's try.
We're going to make sure you win this damn thing, and then you'll get to go meet him, and you can shake his hand and say, "Hey, guess what? Want to come on my show?" And
let's do it.
You never know.
Bring him on your show
because people often remember where they came from and the people that got them there, and want to pay back in kind, right? So you never know.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys. From there, I'm going to say thank you to everybody who showed up and participated in the chat and who listens to this later. And like I always say, if you can go outside, please do, because it's a lot better than sitting in front of this screen. I love you guys.